And so, the giant chased after the little Grundle. And as he chased, he went boom, boom, boom. The Grundle ran fast, but the giant took giant steps. Boom, boom, boom. Coming closer and closer and closer. Boom, boom, boom.
What is wrong with you?
Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow.
Lady, Pony, Pegasus, are you proactively trying to traumatize these children? Is that your deal? I mean, do I even need to remind you what your last story was like?
Everyone died. The end.
So, as you might have guessed by now, Trauma McNanny here is the protagonist for this story arc. And more often than not, being the protagonist in this show means you're the dumbest one of the group and the one who causes the problem to begin with. Great track record, by the way. So, Paradise Estate is falling apart, quite literally. It is so bad, even the tools are broken. This is some major negligence by their part. So, of course, Trauma McNanny, instead of doing, you know, the sensible thing and trying to fix the problem in the traditional way, you know, the Apple family way, with hard work and great reward, he pretty much goes to the first evil-looking dark magician that is so obviously the villain, it's actually painful to watch, and practically gets for free magic paint to solve all their problems. There is not a single scenario that won't have a negative outcome to this whole maneuver. It's going to be a disaster. In every possible dimension, any possible scenario, it's going to end tragically. Oh, and by the way, speaking of tragic, it seems the animators forgot to, well, animate the shininess around the obviously magically evil magic card of the evil magician guy. Yes, great level of competence, guys. So, they actually paint the house with those magic paint, and of course they sing while doing it, and while singing the objects are becoming alive and they sing too. And when the ponies actually notice that, they kind of their baffled expressions are priceless. It takes them a while to notice though. They had to wait the end of the song to properly understand just what the hell is going on here. So yes, now the furniture is alive and they're kind of bossy and mean, and they start treating them like garbage, basically. And after a legitimately hilarious montage in which we see the ponies interacting with the furniture, they decide that the ponies are basically worthless, and they kick them out of their own house. I don't have anything to add to that. And that's basically part 1. In part 2, the evil magician that is obviously the villain comes around and takes over the house with his evil magic to control the objects, and he basically enslaves them. And not even 5 minutes after, you know, kicking off the ponies out of their habitation, the furniture immediately regret their decisions with another song. Again, I remind you, there's one song per episode. So, this all boils down to a climax in which the ponies ally themselves with the furniture to defeat the evil dark magician guy that's obviously the villain. And some magic spells are thrown around and the furniture goes back to being just furniture. not alive. And well, how do they defeat the Dark Magician, who's obviously the villain? See for yourself.
Very well!
Take back your magic paint!
No!
For centuries I've been your slave, Bison. But now you're mine, all mine!
This episode was bad, but funny. It was downright hilarious, in fact. And well, with this show, that's the best you can get usually. You know, unless it's an episode that focuses on Win Whistler, it's going to be a bad episode. But at least you can count on this show to be so ridiculous, contrived, and nonsensical. It's actually kind of hilarious. Again, I sure hope I won't bump into another treasure hunting episode or that completely forgettable one about the ghost that I don't remember, already forgot. And I'm doing just fine, basically. With I'm having fun with this atrocity. it's really and also, I have to admit, having the very furniture of their house telling them that they're worthless and then walking around, almost, well, if it almost bumps into accidentally into self-parody scenarios, so to speak. And it's almost as if the cartoon was self-aware about the complete worthlessness of its characters. Still, that animation error was so embarrassing. I'm genuinely concerned about the mental well-being of the animators in this. Oh, another thing. There is this one scene at the beginning in which Trauma McNanny tries to fix the roof but fails. She falls down. But before hitting the ground, she suddenly remembers she has wings, so she flies and doesn't die horribly. So there is at least one Pegasus who remembers that she has wings. Progress! Baby steps. Baby steps. Well, that's about it for this episode. Not much else to say aside from it was crazy and, and I loved it for that. Well, let's see what happens next. I don't know. Could be anything, really. I did not know what to choose for the pick of the day today, because they're all quite memorable in their own way. So I just decided to pick up the showcase, so to speak. The creepiest moment in the entire episode. See you next time.
Come on, Sherry's Jubilee, you can do it! Just 10 more reps, that's it! Come on, go, Jubilee, go!
Hey, lighten up, huh?
Harder, faster!
I can't take it anymore!
You can't quit now, you still got 20 seconds!